Lola Olivares, welcome to Latinas Heart Talk.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, girl. I was digging into your history right before this podcast, and I think if there's one phrase that I learned from all the bits and pieces that I learned about you is que nunca te rajas, and you keep going. And I think your story is super inspiring. Your restaurant, Lola's Tacos, is proudly in 3 places at State Farm Stadium.
Correct.
You've also had a brick and mortar place here in Phoenix as well. And you started your business in your 40s. So I want to dive into everything that you've done because I think it's so inspiring that it's never too late to have a dream. It's never too late to build a business and just go for it. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So let's get started. So you said something that I was like, you know what? Yes, facts. You moved here in 2012 and you're like, I was looking around and there was no good Mexican food here, so I created one. So tell me a little bit about that. Did you literally like wake up one day and were like, this is my calling. Like, this is what I'm going to do now. This is how I'm going to pivot. Or like, how did that even come into fruition?
Well, I moved here in 2013.
Yes.
January 3rd, 2013. My whole life was in LA. I've always known how to cook. Was taught by, passed down from my grandmothers and my aunts. I worked corporate America over there in LA, came here, worked corporate America. I would cook, do potlucks. But I remember one time my dog got sick. I had a boxer. She picked up valley fever. I don't know what the hell was that until I found out she had it. So I needed to raise funds. So I started cooking at a CrossFit gym where I used to go. Cuando estaba bien fit. Ahora estoy bien fit. So I started raising funds there, and next thing you know, one thing led to another. I quit my corporate job, and yeah, you're right. I did not at the time. There was no good Mexican food around here, and me being from LA, born in Tijuana, I'm like, what is this? Everything was Tex-Mex. Everything had cheese, and everything had lettuce, or it's just
On a flour tortilla.
Yes, to me.
Yes.
When I first came here and somebody gave me a taco on a flour tortilla,
You're
I
like,
was
what
like,
is this?
¿Qué es esto? And they're like, it's a taco. No, it's not. Then what do you know about tacos? I'm from LA.
Yeah.
I'm from Tijuana.
It was very different. I feel like the
Yeah.
tacos that were here were very different than what we're used to. And also, different parts of Mexico, different states have different types
Yes.
of cuisine, right? So, like, what is norm for Tijuana is not the same for Sonora. And I think,
Exactly.
like, everything that was here before was very Sonorense style, right?
Exactly.
But we didn't have Baja California. We didn't have, like, Jalisco, you know what I mean, represented. So, so how... Okay, let's backtrack a little bit. So you started at CrossFit.
At a CrossFit gym with a skillet connected to an outlet.
Because people get hungry after working out.
I mean, everybody wants to hit their macros. Everybody wants to, you
Yeah.
know, like pick up on their nutrients after the workout or a little something before in between a workout. I started selling there, and then somebody asked me, "Hey, Lola, do you want to cater for us?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." I went home. I told my husband, "Somebody wants to hire me to cater." He's like, "We've never catered before." Google,
Yeah.
because we didn't have ChatGPT,
Yeah.
you know. So I Googled, and I was like, "It's not that hard." So we bought a griddle and just kind of started doing it from there. And then somebody's like, "Hey, you want to cater?" So next thing you know, I'm catering for people. And then somebody's like, "Hey, you want to do a pop-up?" And I was like, "What's a pop-up?"
Yeah.
Coming from it's completely different from here. So I'm like, sure. So, but I was like, before I get into that, I want to find out what permits I need. So I asked around a few people in the industry that did the same thing that I wanted to do because I knew I was good at making tacos. And unfortunately, the people that I would ask were of the male species who were not very fond of
Welcoming?
me and very welcoming and very mean. They either gave me the wrong information, they laughed at me, or they would just shush me, send me away.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right. So for the first couple of months when I was doing pop-ups, I was doing everything with no permits. Me la venté, así me la rifé.
But I feel like I didn't know. I mean, I see so many people doing pop-ups now. Like, that's a thing here in the Valley. And I didn't know you needed permits for that.
Oh, yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
You need permits for a food handler's card.
Oh, yes, because you do food. Yeah,
You need
yeah.
county permits. You need to let the county know, hey, I'm going to sell and I'm going to abide by your rules.
Yeah.
You need city permits, telling the city, hey.
It's a whole process.
Yeah, it is a big deal. Nobody wanted to help me. They would send me from here to here to here. I would go online. I was like, I don't know what in the world I am doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I did my biggest pop-up to me was Mujeres Mercado.
Mm-hmm.
And Stephanie could vouch for this. I still had my skillet. My little skillet connected to an outlet. Y my la plancha afuera because we couldn't have it inside. And I still sold tacos.
Yeah.
And still no permits because I was like, I even told Stephanie, is there an inspector going to walk in here? I don't think so, girl. But I don't think she like knew what I meant by that. Well, fast forward a little bit more, COVID hit. Everything shut down. And in that process, I had leftover food. And I'm like, what am I going to do with all this food? So I started feeding campesinos. I started feeding in the West Valley area. I started feeding campesinos, police departments, just dropping off food. Here, who needs help? Who needs food? Who needs food? Dropping off for people that couldn't go out. I started feeding them. And then people kind of got wind of it and they started donating money. So then people started helping me out, dropping off food. So I'd give them gas money. Like, here, can you just drop these off? And then everything started slightly opening. And my husband and I were supposed to get married at the time. Canceled our wedding. And we eloped. A little bit later, but we canceled our wedding and we're like, you know what? Vamos a tener una bola de gorrones at our wedding. What? Why don't we invest in something else? He goes, you want to continue with your business? And I was like, yeah. Because by the time I was like, he was the only one working. He was a truck driver.
My dad's a truck driver.
Really?
Yes, yes.
Oh, locally or?
Oh, he goes to Vegas and Colorado and Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, my husband does local. Well, he used to do local driving.
Es una chinga.
Yes.
I know. My dad has been doing it for years and years, easily 20 years.
Oh yeah, my husband was doing it a long time. He was a diesel mechanic and he was a CDL driver.
Yeah.
So he quit that to help me eventually. But in August, we bought our food truck. I started getting really, really noticed, and I told my husband, "Hay mucha gente salada. Let's go about this the right way with our permits." So I actually figured it out.
Yeah.
I figured out how to get my permits. I mean, everything that I was doing wrong. But that's the only way I learned how. Like, if you tell me you should write a book about what you did wrong or how to go about it, I could do it with my eyes closed and tell you, this is where you got to do, these are the steps you have to take.
Right. But I feel like in anything, I feel like no one is born with the book of, here you go, this is how you're going to succeed in life. You know what I mean?
But why
and
gatekeep?
Especially as a woman. Yes, that's the part. I'm like, if you've already been through it, don't you want to help somebody else? Like, this isn't your competition. Like,
No.
And that mentality just pisses me off personally.
Especialmente los hombres.
It's just, no, yeah. I think it's just such a closed-minded way of thinking. But one thing led to another, and you're like, I'm going to figure it out whether you help me or not. You know what I mean?
And that's what I did. I literally figured it out. I figured out everything that came with it, from permits to taxes to IRS to everything. I finally figured it out. And then I started talking to people, and they're like, oh, yeah, these are the steps. Or sometimes they were like, I didn't know I had to do that part. And I was like, yeah, okay, let me get on that. And to me, it's like, I'm not here to get, and to this day, people will ask me, hey, how do I go about starting my own business? Here you go. Here's the information. I literally have a sheet on how to do it, your first steps to do it, how to go about it, you know, and that's it. Like, if you really want to do this, knock yourself out. But I always tell people, because my biggest question, I want to start my business. What's your best advice? If you want to be in any type of business, especially in the food industry, I always tell them you have to have two things. Like, you just can't have one or the other. You have to have a lot of patience and a lot of money. If you don't have both, you're not going to make it far. Luckily, my husband and I had some money from our 401k. This is how we took care of our stuff. Pero ya se fue el 401k because, you know, it's business dreams. But yeah, that's how we did it. And you fast forward to the end of 2020, COVID was still going on. I did a kitchen. I rented out a kitchen that didn't go so well. By 2021, I was thinking of ending my business. I was like, because I got screwed over really bad by a company. And then I get a phone call. Oh, and I did a taco competition in beginning of 2022, I want to say. And 2020 somewhere. Ay, ya ni se me va la canica.
The years are all mixed.
They're
Yeah,
around there.
yeah.
I did a taco competition, and I was the only girl, and I beat all these guys.
Yes.
One of them, que se creía la gran, he was like, he came out in Food Network, and he came out in all these competitions. I was like, cool story, bro. You know?
Her tacos are better than his.
They won. He ended up being in third place, and he's like, what did you do to beat me? You know, like he was really hurt that
Yeah.
I beat him, a girl. Not just me, a girl.
Yeah.
And he goes, I did this. He said he did like some pork with hot Cheetos and mac and cheese. And I was like, bro, this is a taco competition.
Yeah.
Tacos. Well, what did you do? Carne asada with pickled onion, jalapenos, and salsa and guacamole. What else? Bro, that's it. That's
Yeah.
it. I go, you looked into it too much. You thought about it too hard. It's a simple taco. It's all in the meat, the tortilla, and the salsa. Everything else, dude, is like a bit extra. So I won, whatever. Anyways, right after that competition, I was like, man, I don't even know if I want to do this because I just really had, parece que me sentía como andaba salada. I needed a limpia.
Okay.
And
Like everything was going wrong? Or why do you
yes,
say that?
everything was going wrong.
Everything that could go wrong was
I
going
was like,
wrong.
son of a biscuit, dude. And then I get a call, and they're like, hey,
Really quick, before you move on to that, do you believe in that?
Yeah, I totally do.
So do you think you were?
I don't know. I believe and I don't believe.
Yeah.
I believe that there's good energy out there.
I was going to say, energies are big.
Yes. I believe we all carry energy.
Y hay gente envidiosa that sometimes
Alguien me echó mal de
blocks-
ojo. Y no tenía
Yes.
mi pulsera. That's it.
Yes, girl. I firmly believe in that. There's a lot of jealousy that sometimes just people being like, like giving that look
Yep,
or whatever.
and that's
like
enough. That's el mal de
that's
ojo.
enough. It's like,
So it was at
out
the
of here
point
with
that
that.
my husband
Yeah.
was going to go back to work because he had quit his job. He was going to go back to work. And I was like, and he's like, don't work. Just dedicate your time to the girls.
Yeah.
I don't mind being the provider. That's his mentality to this day. And then I get a phone call. And they're like, hey, may I speak to Lola? I'm like, yeah, who's this? So-and-so from State Farm Stadium. And then shut up. Who the hell is this? They're
Stop pranking me.
Yeah, I was like, I probably dropped a few F-bombs, and I was like, stop fucking pulling my leg. They're like, no. She's all, girl, you serious? It's State Farm Stadium. And I was like, oh, hi, hey. And I was like, I'm sorry, like, it's not a call that you expect. And she's like, understood. It's like, hey, your name landed on my desk. I go, how? She goes, does it matter? It landed on my desk. At the time, it was a GM that was in charge of food and beverage at the stadium. So she got me. She's like, hey, I heard you're good. You want to do an event here? And I was like, yeah.
Of course.
I took my food truck to my first Meekum auction. It's like a Barrett Jackson, but little brother. That's what I call it. So I couldn't believe it when I was parking my car that I'm like, oh my God, I'm at the stadium. Let's backtrack a little bit. When I quit my job, and the day I quit my job, I got my LLC. We were driving on the 101, my husband and I. And I remember driving past the stadium, and I said, I don't know how, I don't know when, but I'm going to get in there. And he kind of like laughed. He's like, okay, babe. I was like, yeah, I'm being serious. I don't know how and when, but I'm going to get in there.
No way. You
I'm
manifested
huge
that.
on manifesting,
Same.
girl.
So am I. But
I'm
you have
huge.
to say it like you
you
already
believe- yeah.
did it. Like,
Exactly.
yes.
You can't just think, I think I'm going to get in there.
There
No,
can be
I am
no
gonna get in
ounce
there.
of doubt at all. Like, you have to 100% believe it's happening, and it already did happen. See, no, you block it too.
Exactly.
Yes.
So guess what? I got in there.
Spoke
I
it
wasn't
out, yeah.
specific about it. I said I want to get in there.
Yeah.
I was with my food truck, but I was in there.
Yeah.
So they liked my food. I did a few events with my food truck. Then they're like, hey, we want to give you the invite to help us out during the stadium with your food truck. And I was like, yes, I'm in it. Like, I'm totally in with you. You're going to be in the South Lawn. I was like, I don't care where you put me.
Put me anywhere.
Yeah,
I'm
put me
already
anywhere.
here. Yeah.
And it was really slow, but remember, COVID still was kind of going on.
Yeah.
And then they're like, hey, Lola, we need some help. And I was like, what? We need help with employees inside. And I was like, I have 4.
Mm-hmm.
The hell do you want me to pull off other ones? Well, is this something you can help us with? And I was like, well, let me see what I can do. So I reached out to a few people. They're like, yeah, sure, we're helping you out. They're like, okay, Lola, close your food truck, help us out inside. And I was like, all right. So I didn't open up my food truck. I was inside helping them at the stadium, selling their products. So I helped them out with 20 people. Next game, hey, Lola, can you help us out with, 40 to 60? And I was like,
Dang.
I barely like scraped for these 20. All right. So power of social media, I got on there. I need help at the stadium, not selling my product, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Found him 60.
Do you think they were testing you?
Fast forward. I don't know.
Because why wouldn't they just hire
Because
staff?
it was COVID and a lot of people were afraid to work. So we were telling
Or
everybody
collecting
just-
that unemployment.
Yeah, or collecting unemployment. They didn't want to work.
Yeah.
So fast forward, I kept 20, 80. By the end of the season, I found them about 150 to 200 employees.
No way.
And the stadium, during a Seahawks game, I remember, they put my logo on the Jumbotron and said, thank you to Lola's Tacos for helping us. And I didn't even know about it.
Yeah.
I was in the back just cranking burgers and hot dogs away. And I hear banging on the door and my phone's ringing. I'm like, what the hell? So I open the door. My friend's like, oh my God, you made the Jumbotron. I was like, what? And she shows me the video. And I'm like, oh my God, I made the Jumbotron. And then little by little, everybody's like, who's this Lola's Tacos? So season was over. And then I told my husband, I'm going to hit up. There was a new GM.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm going to hit him up. And I'm going to tell him that I want to be on the concourse with the other big dogs. And he goes, well, what if they tell you no? I don't care. If they tell me no, it's no. Whatever. Me la voy a rifar. So,
Right.
so that's my whole life. Me la voy a rifar. What's the worst they can tell me? So,
but that is true. What is the worst that they can tell
Yeah,
you?
no.
No, you keep it moving.
yeah, it's
You know
like,
what I mean?
all right, no hard feelings.
Yeah.
I'll cry a little bit, but I'll get
Yeah.
over it. So I told him, me la voy a rifar. And I emailed him. I said, hey, I want to know, if it's okay if you guys can put me on the concourse. They're like, as a matter of fact, why don't you come in for a meeting? We want to talk to you. And I was like, fine. I was like, yes, they're going to put me on the concourse. I get into the meeting with my husband and I'm sitting with management. And they're like, well, we're not going to give you the concourse. And I was like, okay, no quería. I was like, it's cool. Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. So I'm thinking, why the hell did you bring me in here? Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right, so what's the step? That's the next step. I thought maybe they're going to probably hire me for employment,
Yeah.
to help them get people. They're like, we want to offer you a couple of stands in our stadium. And I was like, I'm sorry, say what? They're like, yes, we can't thank you enough as a token of appreciation. And you were actually liked by a lot of our guests. And we want to add a variety in here that we don't have, which is Mexican food, tacos.
Authentic Mexican
Yes,
food.
nada de carne molida, guacala. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah. And they're like, is that something you would be interested in? I was like, absolutely. And in my head, I'm like, keep it professional. Don't cry, keep it in. And they're like, well, good, because Super Bowl's next year. And
That's right.
you're going to be around Super Bowl, so you're going to be in that. And I was like, yeah. And inside, I'm screaming,
Jumping up and
crying,
down.
and I'm touching my husband's leg underneath the table, like. So they're like, so you're interested in everything? Yes, great. All right, we're going to start setting things up, moving along. Fine. I walk out of there, and I'm just like, como la chilindrina. I couldn't believe
It was happening.
that it
for
was
you.
happening. I was like, how did I go from a skillet
Yeah.
to running 3 concession stands and being the first woman-owned, Latina woman-owned business inside the stadium? So I was part of the Super Bowl, and that's where it just like, I went international.
Yeah.
I think to me the biggest thing was being interviewed by CNN Español and Telemundo, because my whole family in Mexico saw me. I was interviewed from people in England, from Japan, like international, nationwide. I remember mics in here, and look here, and look this way, and look this way. And I couldn't remember if I was talking English or I was talking Spanish. So somebody would get Spanish, they're like, no say. Oh, English. So it was the immense amount of media that I got that I had to change all my stuff to private because people were stalking me. People were like stopping me in the store. Hey, I saw your story from Lola's Tacos. You're going to be in the Super Bowl. And I was like, oh my God. Even my kids were like, Mom's famous. That's weird, you know?
Yeah.
And it was, but I got to do Super Bowl, and I got to experience a lot of amazing things and meet amazing people. And then running my food truck and running this concession stands during all football games and big concerts, not graduations or RV shows. So I did a lot of that. Fast forward a little bit more, I did open a brick and mortar. I didn't want to open a brick and mortar.
Why'd you do it?
I wanted to get a taste of it. I told my husband 6 months, and if 6 months it doesn't work out, I don't want to do this. Mm-hmm. Pretty much it's location. Location sucked, but I wanted to get my feet wet. Plus, I needed somewhere to prep all my stuff.
You just wanted to get a taste of it, yeah.
So during the Super Bowl, I did have that little brick and mortar. After the Super Bowl was over, I closed it up. Mm-hmm. When I opened it, and this is crazy how you think you have a lot of people supporting you in the industry, but you really don't. Because when I had my grand opening, only 2 of my friends showed up. I'm not big to be like, oh my God, everybody, like, I don't know if you guys you see a lot of people do like grand opening, con banda y todo, 1 year anniversary, banda y todo, 2 year anniversary. I am not like that. I am more like, I still got to do my job. Mm-hmm. Why am I going to spend money? It's a celebration. And my husband's like, you never celebrate yourself. And it's probably because of like when we were talking earlier, being a Gen X, we just kind of just
keep it moving to the next thing.
Like we got anniversary.
We got more
let's
work
move
to
on.
do. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
I've never done a big deal on my stuff.
You know, that reminded me of something I saw this week on social media. It was like a TikToker of some sort that said, people think that your true friends are there through the darkest moments, but it's in those moments where you're actually winning that you really see like who your true friends are, because some people are just haters and don't want to see that in front of their eyes. You know what I mean? So
exactly. And this industry is very, I've met some really good people, like amazing people. One of the women that I admire is Emmy from Baja Roots. Mm-hmm. Follow her. She's a badass. She's actually one of the first taqueras here in Phoenix, in the West Valley. In the West Valley that I am aware of, there's 2 taqueras, her and myself. If there's more, I don't know where they're at, but they're not as big following as Emmy and myself. But I admire her a lot. There's also Bibi from Bibi Latin's Kitchen. She does a variety of stuff. Yesenia from Salvadorian Pupusas.
Yeah. What made you say, I want to do tacos?
Because that's what I was known for.
Yeah.
I'm good at that. I mean, vengo de la capital de los tacos. My mom is from Mexico City. So it just all came out of there. And because of coming from somewhere where like LA is tacos. Mm-hmm. Anywhere you go in LA, there's good tacos. You came here and you're like, I wasn't a fan of this tacos.
I wasn't impressed.
I was like, I told when my husband started courting me, he's like, oh, I'm going to take you to go some good Mexican. I was like, hold up. You're from Texas because he's from El Paso. And I was like, what is definition of good tacos for you? Because we probably have the 2 different, tastes on
palates.
tacos.
Yeah.
But I ended up educating him eventually. So, él cayó.
To this day, do you know who was the one to put your name on that desk at State Farm Stadium? You still don't?
Nope.
Wow.
Mm-mm. It's one of those things where it just happened.
It's a mystery.
So when people ask me, how did you get in there? Because let me tell you, the same people that shushed me away and the same men that shushed me away, hey, how did you get in there? And I was like, by the grace of God. And they're like, no, really. No, seriously. Well, can you get me in there? Yeah, no. You go send him an email. Let me know how that works out. I even had guys say, I'm going to get in there. I don't want to mention any names, but I'm going to throw some dirt, especially on somebody. And I'm sure if anybody says anything, I'm like, oh, I know who that is. I don't care. So anyways, he was saying that he was going to get in there, that he had connections in there, that he spoke to the owner of the team, and puro cuento chino, dude, because I knew the people inside and were like, we don't know who he is. They actually sent him a cease and desist letter to stop spreading rumors. I've had a few others saying, oh, yeah, I'm going to get in there, too. I'm like, okay. Like, it's not easy to get in there. The people that are in there now, Like one of them who's been there for a long time is Honey Bear. He's been there since that place opened. I actually share one of my booths. I share with Pork on the Fork, amazing friends of ours and great food.
What a cute name, Pork on the Fork.
That's their name, Pork on the Fork.
I love that.
There's these two guys, and it's just their wife, and I always say the wife is the one that's like the kicker. Her name's Veronica. Anyways, but yes, so there's them, and then now you have Barrio Queen, franchise. Samburro's got on there, another franchise. Espinados, another franchise. But you have three that are not, which is myself, Pork on the Fork, and Honey Bears. We're like three little small businesses surrounded by franchises, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Because even if there's other barbecue places in there or other Mexican food, I don't see anybody as my competition. I'm my own competition. At the end of the day, people that have tried my food, already like my food.
Yeah.
So the same people that me echaron tierra, and I was like, you can't. Yeah, go ahead.
What has been one of the biggest, ¿cómo se dice, the hardest pills to swallow in this industry?
So I have a secret to share. I recently visited Contour Scottsdale, and let me tell you, it was such a game changer. I personally always struggled with getting my tummy just how I want it, and they made me feel so comfortable from the very start. So if you're ready to take your body goals to the next level, you've got to check out Contour Scottsdale. They specialize in creating a personalized experience for every client, from the very first consultation to your final results. Their non-invasive body contouring treatments are tailored just for you based on your unique needs. If you've been curious about body contouring, check out contourscottsdale.com, mention this ad, and book your complimentary mini session to get you started.
That no one's here to help you out. It's that one that was like, you have a couple of people that are like willing to help you out, but at the end of the day, you sit there and you're like, no one's gonna rescue me. I'm on my own. Like now, I own another food concept, because why not? Got nothing else to do. It's called Brujeria, Bruheria.
Yeah.
H because it's woman-owned. Brujeria. It's inside a gentleman's club, hey, where likes food and a little bit of So now I run that place, and that's another thing. It's like, no one's here to rescue you. So now I run, not only to the stadium, I also run Brujeria. And like I told you, nobody knew about this. I had to put up Big Red for sale. I told a friend of mine, I feel like I'm selling my baby. And she's like, no, you're not. Your baby is Lola's. The food truck was just the crib. And I was like, you're right.
Yeah.
So now I've had to put up my food truck for sale because I can't handle it. My husband's there for me, but he doesn't like this industry. And there's a lot of people that don't like this industry because it's very cutthroat. It's very cliquey. If you're not young and you're not into the TikTok and you're not into the Instagram and the trendy stuff, nadie te va a pelar. If you're not selling the trendy birria, or if you're not selling something that is trendy, that's some wannabe influencer didn't pay attention to you, which I don't kiss anybody's ass as an influencer, they're not going to pay attention to you. And that's fine. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm not here to be everybody's cup of tea. I'm doing what I can to survive and take care of me and my family to live comfortably. I don't have to throw a big hoopla. I know what I'm worth. Just like when I told you, I'd sell my company for $1 million. Why? Because I know it's worth more than that as well. I know it's worth that and more. Because that's how I value my business. Lola's Tacos has made it as far from a skillet to 3 stands inside the stadium to now owning another food concept, which is not your typical Lola's Tacos food, because I wanted to have a little, that's my little alter ego. But that's the hard part. It's when you realize, shit, I'm on my own.
Yeah. Can I ask, so I feel like as an entrepreneur, if you're not an entrepreneur, I think it's really hard for you to really understand what we go through, right? For anyone out there who's like, they're in the process of scaling and they're seeing all this growth in their business, kind of like how you are too, of like now you're, 3 locations in State Farm Stadium. You also have Brujeria. What for you was like the moment that you realized you had to let go of Big Red? Like for someone who's also struggling right now and they don't know how to handle everything, like what was it for you that made you say, you know what, I think it's time?
Banks won't help you out. People don't realize that, yeah, you have to have good credit. You also have to have business credit. I got myself into debt because no banks have helped me. I've literally done this on my own. Maxed out my credit cards and trying to pay off stuff. But I got to a point where it's like, I can't juggle all 3 anymore. I can't. How much more debt am I going to get myself into? And you have to let go of something, even if your ego hurts.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I'm closing down Lola's Tacos.
Yeah.
It's just, you're just closing on and moving on to something else. Brujeria keeps me busy. The stadium keeps me busy. And I'm a mom and a grandmother. And that keeps me busy. My life is not my business. My life is my family. And they're my biggest cheerleaders. My kids are really supportive of it. My granddaughter, like, to her, it's like, I don't know what she sees. Like, this is yours, because she calls me Mima, porque mi abuela took that title of abuela. Mima, this is all yours? And I go, yeah. Like, that's your face? Yeah, la luchadora mask. So it's there's been a lot. People think it's easy. Everybody sees the end result. Nobody sees the tears. Nobody sees the struggle. I'm 48. I've struggled. I'm going through woman stuff. And it's hard. It's hard to juggle life and everything. And that's when I was like, I can't do this anymore. I gotta let go of Big Red. And Big Red did her job. She did what she had to do. But that chapter is closed until I sell her. But
like your friend said, like, you're not getting rid of your baby. You're getting it. That was a crib, you know. You still have your baby.
It's still, she's if you drive by Brujeria, you'll still see her there parked. But
what keeps you going?
I love cooking.
Yeah.
I love. My 11-year-old goes, we're rich. We're not. I am. I'm not even rich. I was telling them, I saw the big TikTok, how 5.8 million people saw my face.
Which we're going to talk about it right now. Yeah.
But anyways, people think I'm rich because I'm at the stadium. I'm not. What keeps me going is, no me rajo. I was raised by my grandmothers. My grandmothers came to this country as immigrants. My mom and my dad brought me as an immigrant. They did all of this. And now it's like my point to like, I didn't go to college. I went to some college, but didn't finish it because salí con mi domingo 7, which I love so much, my 27-year-old. But I made something of myself when people thought I wouldn't. You're not going to make anything of yourself. I am. A lot of people know who Lola's Tacos is. A lot of people respect me. When I mean a lot of people, it's women.
Yeah.
There's a lot of women that respect me. I notice in this industry too, women are really they really back each other up.
Yes.
The men parecen viejas. Sorry, dude, it's the truth, dude. Because if you see that, se echan tierra. And women are not like that. Even I've heard men disrespect women in the industry, which I try not to stay. I don't stick around. I don't entertain that.
Right.
I think women should lift women up. And to me, it's like when I don't think somebody's paying attention to me, somebody is paying attention to me. Right now, I have a 14-year-old, a 15-year-old, and an 11-year-old paying attention to me, which are my daughters.
Yeah.
And that's what pushes me.
They're seeing Mama continue to do it.
Yep.
You'll find a way to get it done, but it'll get done. You know?
Exactly. They know. I was say, well, there's a will, there's a way. Oh, yes. Like somebody asked me, how do you do it? I don't know. I just do.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out later.
I saw somewhere that you said you're not a chef, eres cocinera. What's the difference for you?
I grew up in the kitchen with my grandmothers and my aunts. I didn't go to culinary school. When people call me chef, I'm like, I'm not a chef. That's so silly. I'm not a chef. I'm a cocinera.
But I just think about I think about my abuela, my mom, like the women that raised us. They make meals better than, like a 5-star restaurant. Like, you guys are chefs.
It's like my grandmother, my mom's mom used to tell me, because I go, you're always in the kitchen, Grandma. She goes, it's my outlet. Mm-hmm. And then they would both tell me, both my grandmothers would tell me, when you cook, cook with love. Because any emotion you feel, you pass on to your food. Even if it's giving somebody a glass of water, you pass that energy to them as well. So do it with love. No lo hagas enojada. Do it with love. Like, have you read Agua de Chocolate?
No.
Okay. When she would cook, every emotion would go into it. They have a movie, so you can watch it.
Yeah.
Every emotion would go into her food. Sadness, everybody would feel it. Anger, everybody would feel it. Love, passion, everybody would feel it. And to me, cooking and creating this magic on a plate and seeing somebody eat it, aunque les pique porque la salsa está picosa, and it's the simplest thing. I get pleasure out of it. Even at home, my kids are like, just today when I was before I came over here, I made Asian food, and my kids like, imagine eating Mexican food every day. And I was like, yes. But I go, but the difference between you guys is that you guys were raised with a variety of different cultures in this country.
That's true. Yeah.
I was raised with frijoles y arroz, hay comida en la casa, nada que de McDonald's. So I was raised with Mexican food all my life. So that's what I know how to cook. So now I've just learned how to diversify my, the palette on the plate for my kids and my family. But yeah, that's the difference. To me, a cocinera it's my grandmothers. Son mis abuelitas, mis tías, mi abuelo que me enseñaron a cocinar, and chefs, which I respect because they went to school and they invested in that, and that's great. But my school was in the kitchen with mis abuelitas.
You did go to school. It was just different teachers.
Different teaching.
Yes, different teaching.
Bátame el huevo blanco.
If your abuelos were here today, what would you tell them about everything that they taught you in the kitchen?
No one's ever asked me that one. They all had different things. My grandfather, my mom's dad, he's the one that taught me how to marinate carne asada. He'd probably find something wrong. But I know he'd be proud of me. Both my grandmothers. I know my last living grandmother passed away 2 years ago. Before she passed away, she got to see Lola's tacos. She would tell me how proud she was of me. She even gave me some recipes, which one of her recipes is one of her salsas she gave me that I happen to use at the stadium, and it's a staple. Pica, but it's so good.
It's a hit.
Like, it's one of those que pica, pero todavía tiene sabor, that you can feel the tanginess in the back of your molars. They would be proud of me. I know they are. I know they're all proud of me. I feel it when I cook. I feel it in my hands. It's like as if their hands became my hands. It's like when my daughters tell me, how much do you know how to put in there? Until my ancestors tell me to stop. And it's true.
You measure with your heart.
I just measure with my heart. Porque así decía mi abuelita, ¿cuánto le echas? Hasta que te digan que pares. Who's they? ¿Quiénes? Los ancestros. Okay, but now that I'm older and I'm cooking, I was like, oh, they were right. But yeah, I cook with my heart. I cook with love. I cook when I'm dancing. Food brings people together.
It does.
Through sadness, through heartbreak, through anger.
Memories.
Yes.
Sometimes you taste something or you
and
smell
it takes
something.
you back.
Yes.
I've had people tell me that there's something about they may take my food and be like, oh my God, it just took me back. Because I've done it. When I eat somebody's food, I'm like, oh, you just took me back to
Imagine
this
how
moment.
many people like were waiting for tacos like yours to taste that first bite and be like, "Me recuerda mi abuela."
Yep.
You know,
And I love that. And that's
that's
why
such
I
a
do what
beautiful
I
gift
do.
to give to someone.
Yes.
Because you can't literally give them that, but you can kind
That's
of in
what
a
I
way,
do.
you know.
I give them my magic on a plate.
Yeah,
That's the best way to say it.
I love that. What would you tell women who are in their 40s who want to dive into something new but are scared and haven't found the support group that they need to like help them push through it?
Sometimes you have to do it on your own
Yeah.
to get a head start. I've had, it took me a while I did it on my own. And now I could tell you, I could call like somebody and be like, hey, I got 2 friends that I call to. I'm having this. I don't know what to do. I need to rebrand myself. Okay, well then figure this out. Do this, do this. Oh, like you get another perspective.
Right.
But I really say, don't give up. Just do it. Like, what's the worst that can happen?
No te rajes.
Yeah, no te rajes. Like, rífatela. I'm going to make a sure that's it. Rífatela.
Yes, you should. So we're big on manifesting here on the podcast, and you're a big manifester yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You manifested this for your business. What are you manifesting for Lola's Tacos still to come?
Can I be frankly honest with you?
Yeah.
I don't know how long I'll do this for.
Really?
I'm 48. I have little ones.
Mm-hmm.
I love doing what I love doing, but I love being around my kids.
Would you ever consider then keeping it, but not being fully present, everyday operation type?
I would love that.
Yeah.
But something about somebody else taking care of my kids. But I don't know. I really don't know what the future has in store for me. I do always manifest abundance. I do always manifest good love and good energy to my staff, my customers. I don't know what Lola has in store for me. I'm big on whatever the universe has in place for me,
Yeah.
then that's what it's there for me. It's
Universe
meant for-
surprised
yes.
me. Yes.
If the universe says it's time to close up shop, Lola, then
You'll
it's
be
time
okay
to
with
close
that?
up shop. If the universe tells me, no, there's something big, then wait, I'll do it. But, you just get to a point where you just like, I've been doing this for 6 years. And now people's like, oh, I've been doing this for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you started young. I'm not saying I'm old,
Yeah.
but I like I told you, family's huge for me. My kids, and now that I have 2 grandkids and another one on the way, that's my.
You value those
I
moments.
do. I want to.
Yeah.
I want to do more. I know there's more out there. Just because say one day I close up Lola's Tacos, does that mean that's the end of that? No. There's other opportunities I could do.
Right.
I've already done this. I can help others. I can do many things that I've created in my head that's I want to do that, I want to do that, and I want to do that. If I don't put it out loud, because sometimes it's something for myself,
Yeah.
I put it out to the universe. I write it down in a journal. But that's between me and the universe.
Yeah. Do you feel like as we get older, sometimes like, for lack of a better word, our priorities change?
Yes. Absolutely.
Like maybe at one point, like this was like, I'm going to give it my all. And now it's like, you know what? I appreciate the time with my daughter more. I appreciate seeing my grandbabies every day more.
In your 20s, I think, so for instance, your 20s, you're learning to discover who you are.
Yeah.
In your 30s, you've kind of started to
Get
establish
an idea.
yourself.
Yeah.
Like
It's kind of
what you
molding
want.
into something. Yeah.
In your 40s, you already know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's times where I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. At least with social media.
Yeah.
In your 40s, you've kind of already figured it out. And at this point, I'm in the point where I don't care what people think. Not that I ever did, but more now so than ever.
Yeah.
What people think or say about me is none of my business. What I show my kids is my business. And to me, they see my mom as a hard worker. They see that I I can go to bed at 12 o'clock and wake up at 5 to take him to school. Like, school starts 5 o'clock in the morning, up, breakfasts, school, drop off, work, errands, pick up schools, club soccer, school curriculums, work, everything's work. And we were meant to be put here not to like work so much. We were meant to enjoy life, enjoy our families. Even if you're by yourself, enjoy life. And
Yeah.
if part of my journey is a couple of years more of Lola's Tacos, so then it's a couple of years of Lola's Tacos. That's my doing. Like we talked about earlier,
Yeah.
if I quit Lola's Tacos, it's my doing. Nobody fired me.
Right.
I just
It's on your
closed-
terms.
Exactly. Not on
Yeah.
anybody's terms. And I'm okay with that. I'm not afraid of it. I'm a little sad. Yes, but
Life keeps
Life's-
going.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not dead. That's when you just know.
There's
Lo único that
no way
doesn't
out
have
of
a
that.
solution
Yeah.
is when you die. Other than
Yeah.
that, como dicen los chamacos, YOLO.
For sure. No, I think like if there's one thing, like I said, that I admire about you, es que no te rajas, you keep going. And I think that's so inspiring for any woman, no matter where you're at in your life, of just like keep on going. And I mean, sadly, for women, and especially women of color like us, like Latinas, we're not given things on a silver platter. Like, you have to go out and really work hard for it and figure it out. And even if you don't know it, try and get the answer somehow, you know? So I think you're definitely like that role model of like just keep on going. And I think that and your heart and your passion for cooking has gotten you to this point. So congrats, because
Thank
it's so
you.
inspiring, and
Well,
it's super great to know that a Latina did that.
My logo is a luchadora.
Yeah.
And that's what it represents. It represents the battles that as women and myself and
Yeah.
other women and immigrants that have fought their way to get where they are at. That's why that representation of that logo is that. The luchonas, the mujeres, the inmigrantes that have fought to make a better life for themselves and
Yeah.
or for their families.
Our ancestors didn't sacrifice this much for us to just get this far. Like, we got to keep it going. We got to go for our dreams and stuff, because si no, all those sacrifices se van en balde, you know? So
I agree. I think my grandmother, like I said, both my grandmothers, all my grandparents, even my parents, and others that are still having that dream, they're all doing it for a reason,
yeah, for sure.
you know? So
I'm so excited for you. I love it. I love it. So thank you so much for being on the
no,
podcast.
thank you so much for inviting me. Maybe I rambled off too much.
No, I
because
loved
it's
it.
hot in here.
It
You know?
is, yes. But thank you so much for bringing El Sazon to the Valley.
Thank you
And
so
to this
much.
podcast. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
thank you.
Thank you,
Al
guys.
rato, vatos.
Bye.